I used to believe that trust was the strongest thing in the world. My name is Tom, and for 12 years I shared my life with a woman named Anna. We lived in a small house near the edge of town. It wasn't a big house, but it was ours. There was a little garden behind it where Anna loved planting flowers, especially roses. Every evening after work, I would sit on the porch while she watered the plants. The air would smell fresh, and everything felt peaceful. Back then, I truly believed I had the perfect life. I worked as a carpenter. I built furniture for people in town. Tables, cabinets, chairs. It was honest work, and I loved it. Anna used to tell me she was proud of me. At least that's what I believed. But looking back now, I realize something. Sometimes the life you think is perfect is already quietly falling apart. At first, the changes were small. Anna started coming home late more often. She said work was getting stressful, and there were more meetings. I didn't question it. I trusted her. After all, when you love someone, you don't expect them to lie to you. Then she started spending more time on her phone. She smiled at messages but quickly locked the screen when I walked nearby. Something felt strange, but I ignored the feeling. I told myself I was just overthinking. I wish I had been right. One Friday afternoon, I finished a project earlier than expected. The customer was happy with the cabinet I made, and I decided to go home early. I even thought about cooking dinner for Anna as a surprise. When I arrived at the house, I noticed a black car parked near the gate. I didn't recognize it. At first, I thought maybe one of Anna's co-workers had stopped by. I didn't think much of it. But when I stepped inside the house, I heard laughter coming from the living room. Anna's laughter. And another voice. A man's voice. Something inside my chest felt heavy. I slowly walked toward the living room. And then, I saw them. Anna was sitting very close to another man on the couch. They looked comfortable together. Too comfortable. When they noticed me standing there, both of them jumped up. The room went completely silent. Anna's face turned pale. "Tom, I can explain." I raised my hand gently. "You don't need to explain right now," I said. The man quickly grabbed his jacket and rushed out of the house without saying a single word to me. Then it was just the two of us. 12 years of marriage standing there in complete silence. I looked at Anna and asked one simple question. "How long?" She hesitated. Then she quietly said, 5 months. 5 months. 5 months of lies. 5 months of pretending everything was normal while I worked every day believing we were building a future together. I remember nodding slowly. "I see," I said. Anna started crying. She kept saying it didn't mean anything, that it just happened. But I told her something I still believe today. Things don't just happen for 5 months. That night, I packed a small suitcase. Anna probably expected me to shout or break things, but I didn't. I was too tired for anger. Before leaving, I stopped by the garden window. The roses Anna had planted years ago were blooming again. For a moment, I just stood there looking at them. Then I walked out the door, and that was the end of the life I thought I had. The months that followed were some of the hardest in my life. I moved into a small rented room near my workshop. Some nights were quiet, too quiet. Memories would come back when I least expected them. But instead of letting the pain destroy me, I decided to focus on something else. My work. I started accepting more furniture projects. Tables, chairs, cabinets, anything people needed. I worked longer hours than I ever had before. Slowly, people from other towns began hearing about my furniture. They said my work was different, that every piece looked like it was built with care. Maybe they were right, because every piece I built carried a little bit of my story in it. After a year of working harder than I ever had before, I saved enough money to open my own shop. It wasn't huge, but it was mine. Above the door, I placed a simple wooden sign, "Tom's Fine Furniture." Little by little, customers started coming in. They admired the craftsmanship and the detail in the wood. Some people even waited weeks just to buy a table or cabinet from my shop. For the first time in a long time, my life started to feel steady again. Meanwhile, Anna's life had taken a different path. The man she chose over me wasn't the person she thought he was. I heard from people around town that they argued often. He lost jobs and caused problems. The peaceful home we once had disappeared. But by the time Anna realized her mistake, my life had already moved forward. 2 years later, something happened I didn't expect. One afternoon, the bell above my shop door rang as someone walked in. I looked up from the counter. It was Anna. She looked around the shop slowly, her eyes moving from one piece of furniture to another. Finally, she looked at me. "You built all this?" she asked. I nodded. Yes. There was a long silence between us. Then she said something I had already expected. "I made a mistake." I thought about her words for a moment. Then I answered calmly. "Sometimes people only understand the value of something after they lose it." She didn't know what to say after that. And honestly, there was nothing left to say. Later that evening, I closed my shop and stepped outside. The sun was setting, and the sky was filled with orange light. I looked at the wooden sign above my store, and I realized something important. I didn't need revenge through anger. My revenge was building a better life. And sometimes, that's the most powerful revenge of all.